I was at a dinner last night, and it was for the Thomas More Society. The Thomas More Society is headed by an attorney named Tom Greca, and he helps defend people who are being persecuted by the state or state agencies, government agencies, for example, exercising their religious liberty. And I was sitting talking with a woman who was sued by the state because she was homeschooling. You know, homeschooling is you have a right to homeschool. Parents have a right. The first educators of children are parents. Parents allow schools to teach their children. It's parents' right to teach their children. So they were homeschoolers, and they had a dinner, and something about one of the handicapped kids didn't like the chicken. It wasn't made right or something for her. And the government got involved. They sued them. It took 6 years to win the case. And Tom Greca's Thomas More Society defended them. Why do you think they're called the Thomas More Society? Does anyone know? Anyone maybe hazard a guess as to why a legal firm who defends religious rights and liberties would be called Thomas More Society?
It was probably the same.
That's right.
It was probably something that would be good to defend the faith during his lifetime.
And guess who that is? Thomas
More.
More. That's right. You know about Thomas More?
I think this is
Well, you will have to, I'll recommend to you, maybe before the year is out, the semester's out, to watch Man for All Seasons. It's about St. Thomas More, who was the Lord Chancellor of England under a king named Henry VIII. Henry wanted to get an annulment from his wife, Elizabeth. The Pope wouldn't grant it because there were no grounds, so he said, well, okay, I want to divorce my wife and marry Anne Boleyn. So the Pope isn't head of the Church in England, I am. That's what Henry VIII said. And Henry VIII demanded that everyone swear an oath that he was the head of the Church in England. And whoever didn't go along with it, they went to their death. And Thomas More went to the guillotine. Actually, not the guillotine, he had his head chopped off by a guy with a big axe. And his famous last words were, I die the king's good servant, but God's first king. So,
What are some actual valid grounds for an annulment?
well, we won't get into it. That's just, if someone say was lying when they were getting married, they wanted to get married for citizenship. They weren't intending to stay married. That would be a ground for annulment.
Yeah.
But there are a number of, not cheating, no. Infidelity is not a ground for annulment. No. You're married for life. No, it's not a ground for annulment. No.
Let's say
No, listen, we're not going to talk about that because we don't have time. That's not the class. You want to learn about annulments, talk to Father Malari in a morals class. He teaches morals. I can tell you, but we don't want to go there today because we can spend the whole class talking about annulments. That's not what we're here to do. The Thomas More Society defends people that are being, you could say, persecuted for exercising their religious liberty, their First Amendment rights. And this is a paper on, it's Life Dynamics, I think is the organization. Okay, actually, no, it's actually the Center for Medical Progress. Has everyone heard about Planned Parenthood videos that they've been releasing on the internet, which shows that they're performing abortions and then they are taking body parts out of children and selling them. This was learned through videotape interviewing Planned Parenthood executives. They're sitting there over drinking their wine and eating dinner, and talking about how, well, livers will bring us this much and hearts will bring us this much. It's pretty gory stuff. Okay? And it really, if you look at it from a pro-life perspective, this is proof that they know what everyone else knows, that unborn children are human beings. They're 7 body parts. And the Planned Parenthood organization, well, they got some judge to issue an injunction against David DeLeiden, who's the project head of executive director for the Center for Medical Progress, that blew the cover on this. And they keep releasing videos, and they got a court. Planned Parenthood got a court order to stop them from releasing videos. Well, the Thomas More Society came in and said, "Oh, no. They have a First Amendment right to do this. You can't come in and say, oh, you can't show this on YouTube. People have a right to know this." But the government's pretty happy mad about it. Anyway, Tom Recca, I've known him for about 20 years, and they do a wonderful job. If any of you are ever thinking about being an attorney, you could join Tom Recca's Thomas More Society after you get out of law school and fight the good fight for religious freedom. Anyway, I'm going to continue today. I'm going to, let me see here. We left off yesterday talking about truth. Okay. So, Brianna, do you remember what truth is? Do you have it in your notes there? What is truth? What is truth? Quid est veritas, as Pilate asked Jesus. So what is truth? A property of the intellect. Okay. And how do we know something is true versus not true? Okay, when? Nolan?
It's true when it conforms with reality.
It conforms with reality. We know something's true when it conforms with reality. Some people want to deny reality. They don't want to admit reality. The Planned Parenthood people are saying, oh, the unborn child is just a blob of tissue. Well, then why are they selling their body parts? Because they know they're human beings. Okay? So, reality is what our mind is, and the truth is what our mind is made for, to know the truth. The truth will set you free. And if I make this statement, the whole is greater than the part. What kind of truth would we call that, Zach? I said the whole is greater than the part. Can everyone recognize that? Do you recognize that immediately when I say the whole is greater than the part? Okay. So what kind of a truth would we call that? Help them out, John. What type of a truth? We hold these truths to be
Self-evident.
self-evident. Okay, it's a self-evident truth. You don't have to think about it, do you? If I say the whole is greater than the part, you have to work out some mathematical formula to recognize that that's true. Student ideas. Pass out. You need student IDs for what, to get in school or something? Get lunch. Very important, huh? We get part of town today, huh? To get lunch. Thank you. Zach doesn't get one?
I don't think we're going to do it.
Okay. So, anyway, the whole is greater than the part is a self-evident truth. When you grasp this immediately, there's no reasoning process to this, you know it. The whole is greater than a part. You know that it's true. Another self-evident truth is the principle of non-contradiction Tell me the principle of non-contradiction. A thing cannot be
Okay.
true and
Not true at the same time, and under the same circumstances.
right. You can't say I am here and I'm not here. Something cannot be true and not true at the same time under the same circumstances. That's a self-evident truth. We all grasp it intellectually. We know it. There's no way to prove it. But there are people who deny it. There are some philosophers who deny the principle of non-contradiction. And my question is, how do you even reason with someone? You can't talk reasonably with someone, have a discussion with someone if they're denying this principle. Because you're operating on another mental plane which reasonable people do not understand. Okay, now, some truths are self-evident, and others, well, I'll say this, there are different levels of truth and certitude. Okay? Levels of truth, different levels. Erase this. Okay? Everyone got that? If you want to look up the Campbell Apologetics too. Okay, different levels. Okay. Of truth. Okay. Or certitude. Okay. Certitude is the same thing as truth. You want to be certain about something that is true, okay? One is mathematical. Okay? Mathematical certitude. 2 plus 2 equals 4. You grasp that. You have mathematical certitude about something. Closely related to that is logical certitude. Okay? I mean, math uses logic, right? You use logic to get from one answer. So logical certitude, okay? So mathematical is one type of certitude. Logical is another type of certitude. An example of logical certitude, okay? A equals B, okay? B equals C, ergo A equals C. It has to be. A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. That's logical certitude. It's logical. You say, oh no, A can't equal C. Well, if A equals B and B equals C, then A has to equal C. That's logical. And then there's moral certitude. Someone's morally certain about something. I'm sure morally that Mary or John or whomever is telling the truth. Okay. If you know someone and you trust them, and you see, you have a moral certainty that they're telling the truth to you. We want to be able to trust what people say. When you pull over for directions somewhere and, okay, first time in a town, I don't know where I'm at. Do you know where this street is? Yeah, you go down here, you make a left, you make a right. I'm going to trust that person. I'm going to be morally certain, because it looks like an honest person, that they're telling me the truth, not telling me to send me on some wild goose chase. If we do that, you're a pretty mean, rotten person, okay? So, some people don't know directions too well. That's another problem, but they're easy directions, okay? So another type of certitude, or truth, I talked about this yesterday, empirical, okay? Empirical. And when we say empirical, we mean through experiment and observation, okay? That's what empirical means. Experiment, we're talking about science here, okay? Observation, and here we say, the laws of nature. Okay? We're morally certain, or we're empirically certain that if I drop an apple, it's going to fall to the ground. Okay? We have empirical certitude there. Okay? Drop an apple, okay? will fall to the ground. Okay? Unless you're in a no gravity area like outer space, then it's not going to drop. But assuming that you're on Earth, you drop an atom, you know it's going to fall. What comes up must come down. A guy named Isaac Newton formulated these. Okay, now, mathematical, logical, moral, empirical. There's another type of certitude that we have. What do you think it is? Take a guess. You see on the call on.
Holy.
Well, religious. You're close. Okay. Religious. Okay. Religious certitude. Okay. And what is this based upon? Well, it's based on. We're certain because it's based on. Okay. Based on. Okay. What God has revealed to us. Okay. What God reveals. Okay. What God tells us. Okay. Now, well, I'll just. Okay. 3 persons, 1 God. Okay. There's 1 God. There's 3 persons in the 1 God. I have religious certitude. All Christians have religious certitude that there are 3 persons in 1 God. We believe this because we believe that God has revealed to us the truth about himself. There's only 1 God, but there's 3 persons in 1 God. So there are different levels of certitude. And as believers, this is the highest level of certitude. This is more certain than mathematical logical certitude. Because God is light. That's the act of faith prayer. I firmly believe all the truths that Catholic Church teaches because God has revealed them. You have revealed them, God. You can't either deceive nor be deceived. God isn't going to lie to us. 1 God, 3 persons. I am more certain of that than 2 + 2 = 4 as a person of faith. So this wouldn't be as certain because people can err. People can make a bad judgment. Someone can give you their opinion of something. And so it depends upon the person. Empirical certitude, less certain. There are, Einstein thought, we're going to see this in a series of films I'm going to show you. Einstein thought originally that there was no beginning of time, the eternity, that the material universe was eternal. The time did not have a beginning. He changed his mind. Does anyone know why he changed his mind? Einstein did a 180 on this. He had to because of the new theory that came out called the Big Bang. The Big Bang is this. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, time had a beginning. It started at a certain time. It's not. The material universe isn't eternal. Had a beginning. Big Bang. He admitted this as a scientist. So, empirical observations can be less certain. There are theories. There may be a new theory that comes out next month that explains everything better. So the scientists are just observing things, experimenting, observing, and theorizing their view of an explanation for reality or whatever based upon their observations. But they can change. Anyone know any other scientific explanations that have changed over the years? There have been a few. Yeah, people thought the Earth was flat. They've changed that now. We know the Earth isn't flat. We said space capsules up and take pictures of the Earth. It's not flat. So anyway, these are different levels of certitude, and they differ. Okay. As a person of faith, this is the most certain. Most certain. I am more certain that there are 3 persons in one God, and 2 plus 2 equals 4. I guess you could debate that. Some people could. But now a question. Can we know truth with certainty by using our reasoning powers? Can we know the truth about things? We should be able to say yes. We can trust our reasoning powers. There are philosophers out there who say we cannot know truth because our reasoning powers are faulty, and we're going to see that. I'm going to give you an article by Father Dubé on truth and certainty. Okay, and I think I'll do that for this Thursday. Actually, do it in class. It's actually something that Mrs. Pitpain recommended, and I thought, yeah, this is a good article. Because we have to be able to answer the skeptics who say we can't know anything for certain. Well, we can't, okay? And we can trust our reasoning abilities, generally, okay? Sometimes we can be wrong. We realize that we're not infallible, but anyway, I'm going to put another thing on the board here, which is muy importante, okay? And okay, very important. Okay. So, the mind does not create truth. We don't create truth with our mind. Or make truth. Okay. The mind discovers truth. Which is outside the mind, right? Now, what do I mean by that? We're dealing with philosophy here. Okay? Mind discovers truth. It's something that's outside the mind. I may not believe that the sun is shining right now if I'm in a dark room and I can't see outside. If I'm in a dark room, closed up, and I don't know what time of the day it is, and I say the sun is shining out there right now, it could not be shining. So my mind isn't creating truth. For me, I may really believe that the sun is shining out there. Someone may be psychotic and think it's dark outside now, and it's light. Well, that would be the mind creating truth. It's true for me. Well, but it's not truly true, because to be truly true, it has to conform with reality, objective reality, outside our mind. So the mind discovers truth that's outside the mind. And if I base my belief on faulty evidence, I'm in a dark room, it's dark, the sun isn't shining up, but it is, well then, I'm not saying the truth, even though I may believe it. We have to be able to trust our reason, because generally, our observations are true. I mean, if we're looking outside, I can see, it's daylight, well, the sun is shining outside, right? I wouldn't be telling a falsehood if I said, well, the sun isn't shining now. I'd be telling a falsehood. If I say the sun is shining, that statement is true because my statement conforms with objective reality. Okay? Reality is that the sun is shining right now. In fact, it's shining a little more fully just now as I said that. It was a little cloudy before. I'm going to put something on the board now. This is working for me. Let's see. This is. Jack, shut those two lights off, don't you? You would? I'll go to, let's see here, resume. Resume. Okay. Anyway, this is a famous sketch by a famous artist, late 18th century. He sketched this in about 1797, I think, or something. Francisco Goya. And there's some writing here. It's kind of light. It's still kind of light. And right here on the wall. Our Spanish speakers can help us. La razón and produce El sueño de la razón produce monstruos. Translate for us.
I'm pretty sure it's saying, okay, it's either, that's dream or sleep, right?
Yes.
The sleep of reason produces
Monsters.
monstrosities.
The sleep of reason. You let the reason go to sleep, okay? You don't keep it active, it produces monsters. So you can see the person here is sleeping and all kinds of things come into the mind, which the ideas are not true, are not real. Okay? Fantasies, basically. All these things. Okay? And we don't want to let our reason go to sleep. We don't want to allow our reason to shut off. We want to use our reason because we can trust our reasoning abilities. If I'm up and I'm seeing things, I can tell the truth whether the sun is shining or not. I can trust my observations. Okay? And on a more, say, moral level, okay, the moral law is written in all of our hearts because we all have the use of reason. You go to any country in the world, any time in human history, you studied world history, okay? Code of Hammurabi, okay? You compare the Code of Hammurabi to the Ten Commandments. Very similar. Why? How did Hammurabi, king of Egypt, come up with his code? This wasn't given to him by God on Mount Sinai. The use of his reason. Is it wrong to steal? Yes. Is it wrong to murder? Yes. Is it wrong to lie? Yes. Use of our reason, we can come to know these basic moral truths. We don't have to rely on God's revelation necessarily. We can come to a knowledge of this through our use of reason. That's, I think, what Goya is referring to here especially. Okay? And it's Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. Check. Not Francesco. It's Francisco. Let's see. I want to get his Francisco, yes. Francisco Goya. This was painted or sketched in 1799. There are some where he sketched this. It's very famous. I just Googled it. I got it. It's kind of a famous sketch. He's just communicating the truth to us. Don't let our reason go to sleep. You've got to keep sharp. That's why we're having this class. So if someone attacks us for our belief, we can give a reason for our hope, as St. Peter says. Why do you believe this? Believing in God is stupid. There's a famous scientist who says this. He says, people who believe in God are delusional. You know who says that? Well, Bill Nye. Someone else who's very famous, who's a philosopher, who's a scientist. Anyone know him? Dawkins is his name. Dawkins wrote a book, The God Delusion. He says people who believe in God are delusional. They're seeing things in their mind. No. We're using our reason. We can reason to the existence of a God without God even telling us. We're going to see how that's done. And actually, you're going to see in a series of films I'm going to show you how science backs up our position. Based upon, maybe you've heard of intelligent design. Okay, there's evidence of a mind, a designer in the universe. The ancients believed this too. Aristotle, Plato, they believed in the God because they reasoned to the existence of God from creation, looking around, using their reason. There must be a God who created things, who put things in order, who caused things to happen. Can you have an effect without a cause? No. So there must be a first cause to things. They reason to this. First cause must be God, the uncaused cause. So we use our reason, we use our wits to know truth, to know God, to know moral law, to know basic right and wrong. Let your reason go to sleep, you'll create monsters. I think people's reason has maybe intentionally gone to sleep on things like abortion, love-promoting abortion. Well, it's okay to do this. Well, certain human beings. I think people's reason has gone to sleep when they promote things like same-sex marriage. Because marriage, the whole history of the human race, marriage was between a man and a woman because the purpose, the ultimate purpose of a man and a woman coming together in marriage is to produce children, which cannot be done with the same sex. So, can't let our reason go to sleep. Can't do it. Got to keep awake. And look at now. Travels on two lights there. Air conditioning. Nixie's a little more tolerable. The other classroom's really, really not. Yeah. It's bad. Anyone want to drink?
Bill Nye is actually the biggest Buddha scientist. There's always a debate between men and hang about creation and perception. Well, it was not true. Science. It's actually a thing.
Now, in speaking a few minutes ago, I was talking about something called objective reality. Objective versus subjective. When I say objective, that means it's existing outside of me and my mind. Subjective means subject, the person, it's me, how I'm perceiving things. So, if our mind perceives things that are in keeping, in accord with objective reality, well then we could say we're grasping the truth. If our minds are creating something that is in contradiction to objective reality, well then we're out of touch with reality and we're not really grasping the truth. So I'm going to draw something on the board today. I'm going to start today and finish tomorrow. I'm going to draw 3 circles. Now, I'll just say something here, because I freely admit this. I'm a thief, in a good sense. I steal from the best sources. Not steal in a bad sense, but I take and I use what I see as good, what others have come up with in their mind, their explanations of things. Okay. When I'm about to draw on the board, a philosophy professor I had, an old Dominican, he did this when I was in class 30 years ago. I had to go back to school when I was, after I left my legal career, okay, when I started the seminary, I had to go back to school. I had to go back to college for a year to study philosophy, because to qualify for theology school, you have to have so much philosophy. Philosophy is understanding of ideas and things like this. So I went back to study philosophy, and an old Dominican priest, Father Andrew Fabian, he used what I'm about to show you to explain objective truth versus subjective opinion. Okay? Now, there's one circle, and then there's another circle that intersects with the first circle. There's a pretty good circle. That's a little bigger. I'm not an artist. We can have to draw stick people and so on. Anyone an artist here? That creative article? I don't. I admit it. Okay. If I said I was a great artist, I would not be stating something that's objectively true. I would be blind. Okay? I'm not a good artist. If I can draw a circle with categories. 3 circles. And they intersect one another. Now, in the first circle, we have right here, objective reality. Objective reality. Objective means outside the mind, okay? Outside the mind. Objective reality, or objective truth. That's what we're talking about. Okay? Objective truth. But it's truly true, outside of our mind. Whether we believe it or not, it's true. If I don't believe the sun is shining out there, doesn't matter. Objective reality, the sun is shining out there. Now, this circle is people's perceptions. Of objective reality. How I'm perceiving things. If the blinds are all closed and there was no sunlight coming in, I'm trying to perceive objective reality. Is the sun shining or not out there? I have to guess. I can't perceive it. What if the sun weren't shining? It's at night, but some bright light is shining in, and I think the sun is shining when actually it's a big light coming in. I could perceive reality wrongly. I'd say, oh yeah, the sun is out there. No, it's not. Here, lift up the blinds, it's just a light shining through. Okay. So people's perceptions of objective reality, how they intersect with this. And the third one here is people's expressions of their perceptions of objective reality. Or you could say their opinions. Okay? Another thing we could say here is their philosophies. Okay? Different philosophies. Okay? So, how people express their perceptions of objective reality, and whether their expressions, their statements, okay, their explanations, you could say, expressions or explanations, okay? Just trying to use different words here to get across my point. Explanations, okay? How to explain objective reality, they may differ. They may be true if it's in accord with this, but they may be false. Now under here, I'm going to put, for example, okay, one God, three persons. Okay? That's objective reality. But in addition to philosophies, okay, I'm going to put here religious systems, okay? Religious belief systems. For example, the Greeks, the Romans, okay? Do their expressions of their perceptions of objective reality express the truth? Greeks and Romans? No, they had many gods. They were polytheists. Okay? You had Zeus and Athena and Artemis and Muhammad, a whole list of gods. Is this the truth? Their religious belief systems, are they true or not? We would say now, no, they're not true. These were creations of the human mind. A human mind created this, thought up some system of all these gods. It was an attempt to explain their perception of objective reality. Is it true or not? We would say, well, no. Who today believes in all the Greek gods, all the Roman gods? I don't know anyone who takes those things seriously these days. In fact, Socrates didn't. You know who Socrates was? He was the first great philosopher. You know what happened to Socrates? They offered him poison. Either you're going to die or renounce this belief system, because he poo-pooed the idea of all these gods. We know there's one God. Come on, let's be serious, folks. So they said, well, you're opposing the laws of the state, the religion of the state. So what did he do? He drank poison because he didn't agree with their perceptions of objective reality. That's all we're going to do today. Any questions?